Hello and welcome everyone to today's live. My name is Tim Miller, and today I will be sharing part three of the three-part series about service. Being a faculty member. But before I do that, I just want to briefly introduce myself. Um, I graduated with my DPT degree from Elon University and slowly kind of made the transition from full-time clinician to clinical faculty and then full-time academic faculty, working in several universities. And now, and also I earned my EDD degree from the University of Florida in educational technology. And now I get to work on a larger scale with a company called Rehab Essentials, doing curricular and faculty development and distance education with them for entry-level PT program, post-professional OTD, and DPT degrees as well. So again, that's a little brief background about me. So this is part three of the three-part series of, all right, you got hired, you got your academic job, now what? And then, the previous two that I went over were teaching and research and scholarship. And the last part is today again, is talking about service. So this is the last of that three-part session of talking about the service requirements surrounding being a faculty member or being an academic. So again, as a brief overview, teaching, scholarship, and service are the three pillars or areas, that you're responsible for and assessed with, and those types of things. So, again, a lot of people are drawn to the idea of teaching and becoming faculty, but are surprised to learn, at least, I know I was, of a service requirement of being a faculty member. So you aren't alone if you find yourself thinking, what is service? Why is there a requirement? What is it all about? What do, well, why do I have to do it? And for many, the aspect of being a faculty member, it may not be something that you were aware of or really unsure what it means. So in this session, I'm going to cover, what faculty service means, why faculty have to participate in service, and some examples of fulfilling those service requirements. So just like teaching in scholarship and research, you must demonstrate participation in service. There's really no avoiding it. So even if you even if you don't really like it, it's still part of what you have to do. But hopefully, with this session, and again, if you're interested in hearing more about it beyond this session, I can kind of help guide you in talking about, well, it's a requirement of the job, and how do you position yourself into making sure you're doing things that you do like around with that. So when you hear service, you're probably like me wondering what that meant as a faculty member. And again, there's no surprise here. It means exactly what you think it is, participating in service-based activities. The good news is, just like with research, there's many things that count as service. And since it's a requirement for all faculty, there's no shortage of opportunities to meet and even exceed the service requirements. So for accreditation purposes, and again, my background as being PT faculty, accreditation through CAPTE, and then the regional accreditation for the university as well, there are, different areas or classifications of service. So oftentimes for a CV, you'll see that you have to list out, service to the program, so the program that you're a faculty member of, service to the college. So if that program is within a college of, in the university, for example, some PT programs are in like a College of Healthcare Sciences or the College of Medicine, or whatever it may be. There's also the university level service, so university-wide service opportunities. And there's service to the profession, so that could be local APTA chapters, again for the PT example, a state chapter, or even national involvement in the APTA or other national organizations. And also service to the community can count, related to your teaching or the profession or those types of things. So community service. So, you don't need to be involved in all levels, especially at first. So I don't want to share this to scare you into thinking that you have to be, voluntold or overcommitted and have your hand in all of those different areas. Again, in thinking about my experience, and I'm going to share this, starting out in the program, and then other opportunities came up and things that I was interested in. So, here are some examples. Speaking of those examples of areas or levels that I was involved in. So, service to the program is most commonly done through different committees. So, each program will have different committee work. So, this could be like admissions committee or committee on academic or student progress. So, if any of the students are having difficulty grade-wise, or whatever those processes are, for to help ensure student success, curriculum committee, outcome committee, search committee for faculty positions, and those types of things. So these are all committee work within the program, that all faculty kind of fill these roles to help a lot of these functions of the day in and day out of the program to continue to do well. So they don't just sort of, again, these different functions and responsibilities of what a program is responsible for or serves. There has to be committee work, to fulfill those. And, again, so there's definitely, I'm sure, needs and opportunity and also expectations of making sure that you are a part of that committee work. Another example there, where there was service to, I think it was to the program, but also to the community and those types of things, was a program I taught in at Nova Southeast University for 7 years, had a student-run pro bono clinic. And so I volunteered, as a faculty supervisor to supervise the students and those types of things. So obviously that counted towards the service. Examples of service to the college are, those college-wide committees. So I was part of a college-wide search committee. So there was uh, a, a college-wide, faculty or even administrative position open, and being a part of that search committee in terms of reviewing applications and conducting the interviews and those and making recommendations. And I even served on the college educational technology committee, to try to help influence the tools used in academics. Servicing the university, same types of things. There may be university-wide committees. I had an opportunity to participate in a pilot program for learning management systems, and those types of things. And again, what I'm sharing, this was not day one of being a faculty member, but was, I was a faculty member there at that university for 7 years. So, these are over the 7 years, all the different area, some examples of areas that I was involved in. Um, and then finally, in terms of service to the profession, a lot of things or examples of things that I did or that, count towards that was, being an abstract reviewer for a conference. So the combined sections meeting for APTA, I had my, board certificate or my clinical certification, board certification in geriatrics. So for the geriatric section, I reviewed submissions for proposal submissions for this for CSM. So so that is a service, counted as kind of that nationwide service to the profession. Even abstract reviewer for a journal or being a reviewer for journal articles, that's something that's pretty commonly done by faculty that you can get involved in. Um, Participation in your local, and again, for the PT example, APTA chapter. So for me, that was, attending the meetings, or maybe, you could, run for a position, within that chapter, or serving as at least where I am, they have assembly reps, assembly representatives for each local chapter that then goes to the state conference. So participating in the state association, being part of an assembly rep was kind of a two for one, because there was involvement in the local chapter, and then the involvement at the state chapter or the state conference. And again, you can also run for office for different, at the state level too. So, whatever your state physical therapy association for the physical therapy example. And then even national APTA, participation, or national, service to the profession in terms of, volunteering at a conference to moderate sessions, or running for an office or House of Delegates, or any of those types of things. Some of those are, and me thinking of, well, I go to the state conference, or, at the time, go to the state conference every fall. If I get involved in this way, I'm there, I can help be involved in something I'm interested in, and I get that service credit that I need to in terms of for, the service requirements of being a faculty member. So again, those are all just different areas and different examples, but I hopefully broke down in terms of just ideas in terms of defining what does it mean being involved in service of the program or the college or the university or the profession, and what does that look like. But it's important that you think about committees or areas that interest you, because participation in committee work, it is a time commitment. It does take a lot of it can take a lot of your time in different different times of the year. Different committees may be busier than others. The most immediate need and biggest time commitment are, again, those program level committees that are important for the day in and day out functioning of the program. So really, I would just advise people to think about what you're interested in. For me, I like being able to shape and influence, and be a part of student admission. So as someone personally, I had really good grades coming out of undergrad, but my GRE score was less than good, and because of that, getting into PT school was a little bit of a struggle for me. So based on my previous experience, I gained a passion for making sure, if I could be a part of admissions committee, thinking through, well, how can our program have an inclusive admissions process and criteria, and make sure that applicants were more than just grades or test numbers. Again, so that's why I was like, I think it's a lot, it's a lot of work. I really enjoyed, thinking through that process of, admitting students, to the program, and, those types of things. So again, that's just one example of how I align my interests into a program level committee work, and fulfilling the service requirements. Others, whereas I gained interest in educational technology, and again, earned my terminal academic degree, reviewing article submissions, those types of things as well. So again, please know this is just a brief overview of the service requirements and a few ways to meet those requirements. My goal again was just to sort of scratch the surface and give you a better understanding of it, and that aspect of being a faculty member. And if you're anything like me, I was excited just to teach and didn't give much thought into service. But however, it is important to think about, so how can you best meet those requirements efficiently in a way that not only interests you but lets you grow as a professional as well. And in different, I gained a lot of good relationships with people throughout the college and the university, and even in the profession, through this service work. So um, as I've shared before, this is part of where my expertise lies, where what I'm most passionate about is helping and mentoring faculty, in the three main pillars and requirements of being a faculty member, of that teaching, research scholarship, and service. As I've mentioned previously, I go in much more detail about any of those in the faculty mentoring program, Clinical Connections. So with the 6-month program, there's one-on-one mentoring and faculty development sessions with me to help you more specifically, and understand, if we're talking about service, what those requirements are, how you think through being involved in it that best align with your interest, and really how to save you time and best meet those requirements and not get stuck, hopefully, in a committee that is not something that, or a service requirement that um, is a lot of time and something you're not interested in. So in addition to helping with navigating the service requirements, the program helps you to develop into a faculty member, really focusing on where you need the most support and mentoring. Um, so during the one-on-one sessions, we can cover things, like building courses, instructional design, creating assignments, exam questions, writing rubrics, scholarship requirements, service requirements, any of those things. All of these things of, all right, I'm a faculty member, now what? Or if you're interested in becoming a faculty member, how do I do that? So if that's something that you would like support or guidance in, you can definitely send me a direct message, or write teach in the comments below, and we can reach out with details of the faculty coaching program. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. So I hope you learned something new today. The next session, that I'm going to have, definitely want to talk about all three of these faculty requirement areas and how they're used, and really thinking through of what that means combined. So again, go ahead and put in the comments your aha moment or something that stood out for you or something new that you learned. I want to thank you for watching, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook group or YouTube. If you have any questions or liked what I talked about today, please feel free to message me and leave your questions in the comments. Thank you so much.